Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I'm your host, David Stregi, and here in the room with me, I have a very cool filmmaker, Will Collazo, correct? Is that how you
Will
say
Collazo.
your name?
You said it perfect. A lot of people mess it up, but you hit it right on the head. And I'm very impressed.
Alrighty, man. Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the independent film industry?
Oh, man, it's a long story. Okay, so we have to go all the way back to 2002. I started as an actor.
Okay.
I did a course at the New York Film Academy.
Okay.
So, it was the biggest acting school around. It was so much money. My dad helped me pay for it. I was a young kid. I went through the process of learning all the different acts. I was trained in Shakespearean acting, method acting, Meisner. Meisner was my favorite acting technique, by the way. It still is to this day. I had a great teacher.
Okay.
So I went through the experience. I went on auditions, and it was not what I thought. It was very competitive. I had a lot of bad experiences with casting directors. Some of them yelled at me. A lot of them were nasty with me, and I said, this sucks. And I noticed we would have these big parties at the school. They would turn it into a rave, and I noticed all the actors would smooch up to the directors,
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, man, I'm not going to do that. So I didn't get any parts in the show. And I kind of put it off. I met a girl and I put it off. I was distracted with that, but I always had the dream. And I was like, you know what? I want to learn directing. So go back. I was laying dormant until 2009 or 2010. And I went to film school. I went to the New York Digital Film Academy this time.
Okay.
For a 1-year intensive filmmaking program. And it was a great experience. I learned filmmaking. It was tough. All my classmates were professional people. So, I didn't really make that too many friends until the end when I met other filmmakers, working on stuff. So I kind of had to, a great story actually that I'm forgetting. So I signed up and I had a month before I started the semester, and I read Lloyd Kaufman's book, Direct Your Own Damn Movie. And I'll tell you what, David, I'll tell you what, a lot of that stuff in that book was right on the money. I learned a lot of that stuff in film school. So I was like, you don't even need film school, but it's great for the networking. I learned how to get actors and book locations and the production side of it, So the filmmaking was a great experience.
Okay. And when did you make your first film, or was it editing that you got into first?
Filmmaking. I did a bunch of shorts with Late Night Hours, which was a really cool movie. It's about a killer transvestite that stalks a guy in a bathroom stall.
Okay.
And Karim Lant was the star. He was in Bloody Nun. He was Rico in Bloody Nun. He's the first actor I ever hired, so I always stick with him.
Okay.
So what happened with that movie, I didn't know about copyright laws and all that, so I put all this cool music in it, and I can't really show it. I have the DVD around here somewhere, and if I show it, I'll get freaking sued out my ass. So I can't. Can we curse on here or no?
Yeah, you can definitely curse on here.
I'll keep it clean.
My show.
So then I did Dead Yard. Was my second film. We just shot it, a bunch of me and actors, and then I wanted to do a feature, so I did a documentary about actors living in New York City, and it was called I'm an Actor, I think it was called.
Okay.
And dude, I didn't know, man. I went on location, and I only got a half an hour of footage of people. I shot for 3 days or a whole week, and I only could edit a half an hour footage. I was so upset. I thought it was going to be my big feature, and I was going to break into. And then I gave up. It's going to get to a really good part of the story. I kind of gave up, and I was like, oh man, this is so hard and difficult. Festivals took it. I didn't even really try and enter it. Nobody was interested.
Okay.
So I would, apply for all these jobs, directing jobs, and I would get really few things, basically nothing. One was to go shoot at a commercial for a law office, and they were really rude, and it was very discouraging. Mm-hmm. So I was watching Bloodsucking Freaks one day for the first time. I think I was watching it on YouTube, and I was like, holy shit. I'm going to make a movie. I can make a movie just like that. And that's how Theater of Horror was born. I was like, why am I so scared? And I asked people to give me opportunities. I know how to make a film. I'll do it. And it was scary. It was cool. I kind of gave a lot of these actors, I think it was Angie Hansen's first role in a feature. Matt Brunzio. I always say his name wrong. Victor Gaspar, I knew from film school. So it was a really exciting project, David, to be a part of. And, I was going to learn on the fly. I rented that theater for a really good price for a whole week. Mm-hmm. And we went in and we shot. I had a really good leading man in that film, Darren Asante, who's such a talented actor that just needs to be seen by the right people. I don't think he's acting anymore, but it's such a shame because that guy is so talented,
And
You know,
that would be Theater of Blood that you're talking about,
theater of
correct?
horror, theater of horror.
Theater of
Everybody
Blood.
calls it theater of blood. It's okay.
Well,
Oh, go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
so now you've always shot and filmed in New York, where you're from, correct?
Yes, New York.
Okay.
So
And how did you how did you find your location for the theater that you used?
I was just looking for a small, dingy, like really creepy theater, and I found the perfect one. It's like this really artistic theater where they do a lot of crazy shit. Like you go in there and there's like one night there's topless women dancing around. There's bad comedians, and I was like, this is perfect. And in a connection to that, somehow Trauma, their latest movie, Shakespeare Shitstorm, shot a scene in that same theater that we shot Theater of Horror in. So there's a connection there, movie connection, which I thought was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so Theater of Horror, you know, when I first, although it has its issues, like the lead actor got sick, so we couldn't do reshoots.
Mhm.
Victor Gaspar was having health problems.
Okay.
So we waited. So I shot that in 2015. I didn't finish it until 2018, man. And it's like we rented the theater, me, Angie, Carl Grasso, and Joe. And the theater had no lights, and we just had 2 set lights, and we had to film these last makeup scenes that we had to make up a script like in a month to finish this movie because we had to finish it. So we're shooting in the dark, but everybody was great. You know, the ending got a little shaky. I think you said it in your review of the movie, which it did. But you know,
Yeah.
I'm proud of that film for what we had. I think the budget was $3,000. I think it came out really good. I just wish more people would have saw it. I had a producer who buried it away because it didn't have tits and ass in it, basically. So, but you saw it, and thank you very much for the.
Well, I'm very glad that I saw the film. And even though I'm like, I guess I could say I'm like a collector of David Stirling films. So you're not the first filmmaker that I've gotten interested in through David Stirling.
Yeah.
And I know that Stirling can be good for like the first coming out director to get their stuff out and whatnot. And that's a very cool opportunity that you could have come across to at least get your films out there and get your name set in stone.
So it's funny. So this is how when I was shooting this movie, I was thinking of David Stirling because I would watch the who was it? I think it was Wet Movie One or Sean C. Phillips did like these vlogs with him, and I would look at his website back in the day, and I was like, oh, this guy's a real film producer. He has a great resume. He's a little quirky and everything. So one night I called him out of the blue, and I was like, I have this really cool movie, and do you want to release it? And at the time, David was kind of leaving dormant. He was kind of in a depressed and a funk, and he didn't do it. He wasn't on set for over a year, and he was looking to get back into it. So we talked and we built a friendship. Man, I had hours long, great conversations with David. You know, he's a little rough around the edges. One day he'll flip out on you, but then he'll apologize for no reason. You know, and he's like, it's just the way he's wired. You know, he's a special kind of guy. So, I signed the contract for Theater of Horror, so he owns Theater of Horror. So unfortunately, I can't make a sequel to it, which is really sad, but I respected what I did. I signed the contract and he paid me up front for it. But then, it's sad. This is not to knock David Stirling. I wish me and him went our separate ways for the best, and I wish him the best in his life. And I'm excited about the new Camp Blood. I actually bought a copy of it because it looks really good. That's cool. I like how you're smoking. It looks like you're like one of those old time interviewers like Johnny Carson or something. But yeah, so here's a lesson to you, like upcoming filmmakers. Somebody like really successful told me in Hollywood that you have to protect your art. You have to protect what you create. Just don't be excited. I was very excited and I signed the stupid contract. So Theater of Horror, I got paid up front and I haven't seen any money. And it's on Google Play. It's on YouTube. Somehow they signed the contract with YouTube where it's on YouTube Movies and all this, and I don't see a dime from it. So it really sucks, But that's the name of the game, and it was a learning experience. Now, Bloody Nun was different. Me and David never signed the contract. I just let him, release it. And that's another movie that he ended up burying because he wants naked women, cheap gore effects and stuff, which is cool. Some people like that, but I want to give him more of an experience, as a filmmaker.
Definitely. Now, what was different about Bloody Nun that was different about theater?
Okay, so Bloody Nun, I gave David Theater of Horror. I guess he was happy with it. I don't know how it sold. I don't know how he did with it because he doesn't show me his numbers. So he contacted me. He's like, I got a script for you, Occultist 2, right? And the script Occultist 2 was like this hotshot from California University, a screenwriter. I was like, holy shit. But it was just I went over the script. I called Angie Hansen because I wanted to cast her because she was very reliable, great New York City actress. I'm not sure if you remember her from Theater Horror and Bloody Nun.
Yeah.
Very talented. She's like on the verge of breaking out. I hope she does. You know, I'm definitely going to cast her. She's actually in Bloody Nun too. She plays Bloody Mary in a cameo, which is really cool.
Okay.
You know, just committed. I know she was a theater actor for a long time. And I went over the script and I'm like, Angie, this is fucking crazy. I mean, it was the raunchiest script. It was like women's nipples being cut off and just senseless violence and sex. And, you know, I just couldn't do it. Who's going to film this? You know, it was too much for me. So I was like, David, let me turn this into my own script. So I turned it into like a possession type of thing with the occultist, where I was going to do like an occultist type thing. It was actually a pretty cool script. Sean C. Phillips. I'm not sure if you saw the original Occultist that David made. It's probably like one of the worst movies of all time.
I have it. I just haven't watched it yet.
You're not missing nothing. It's so boring. It's so bad. It's bad. It's like torture. No offense to everybody who made it. I'm sure they worked hard on it. But,
well, I'm sure there were a lot of movies from back in the day, especially from Beast of Street Entertainment, that were definitely basement movies.
What about this one? Do you remember Bloody Murder?
Yes.
That's like a guilty pleasure. It's like so bad that it's kind of good.
Yeah, it came out on one of those midnight movie.
Yeah, and they made a sequel, so they made money off it. I think it's like Closing Camp or something like that. So Bloody Nun, yeah. So okay, so then he's like, okay, David was genius with this though. He said, you know what? Change it. And he changed a week before a shoot. He goes, I don't want to do Occultist 2. Change it to Bloody Nun or whatever. And I was like, wow. So we did like a whole reshoot. The script was all messed up, but you know, I learned in Theater Horror how to do like frantic filmmaking, where I could just shoot a scene, get it done, you know, in a short amount of time, because we only had the house for, you know, a certain amount of time, you know, over one whole night, you know. So we shot that movie in a day. We shot in the morning, and then we shot Bloody Nun in one day. And, nice. and Angie Hansen, I remember, she's like, did we just fucking wrap a movie in one day? And I'm like, yes, we did. And you know, the bad things. Unfortunately, Bloody Nun, the special effects guy had an incident and he didn't show up. We were going to have this cool demonic makeup, all these blood effects, like everything changed. So I was like, I have to make it up on the spot. So I did everything digital. You know, they were shoddy. I'll be honest with you. The makeup didn't come out good. Angie ended up, she was the only one experienced doing makeup. The effects we had to do digital. So it worked out the way it worked out, but it turned out to be like a dark comedy. So, you know.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. So ultimately, what did you do differently in Bloody Nun 2? From what I understand, this movie has not come out yet.
Bloody Nun 2 is wild, man. Bloody Nun 2 is raunchy. It's wild. Can I tell you about the cast of Bloody Nun 2? Let's see.
Go right ahead.
Pull it up because I don't want to mess up people's names. Okay, let's see.
I know you're probably using some of the same crew, but you probably have added some different people.
I always like to mix it up and add different people to the films. Okay, so Bloody Nun 2. Okay, let's go. Let's see who we got. Okay, so we had Sean C. Phillips. He makes another cameo, opening cameo, because keeping to the tradition. Yep. Then we have the return of Tina Kraus. I'm sure you're familiar with Tina Kraus. This is kind of like a comeback because she was kind of like, you know, doing her own thing. I think she was running a business. Let me tell you something about Tina Kraus. She's like in her 40s and she's more beautiful than ever. She is the most kindest, sweetest actress I've ever worked with. Just a total pleasure, David. The nicest, sweetest pie. Like such a wonderful lady to work with. I would work with her any day of the week. If she's broken down on the side of the road, I would go fill her car up with gas. One of the kindest people I've ever worked with. So I don't know if people know that about her, but she really is.
Nice.
And then we have my partner, you know, not my partner, like my business partner, Mark C. Fullhart, who I work with as a producer. He returned as a new character called Sandoval. It was like the twin brother of Mr. Shiva. Okay. And then, excitingly, I got to work with Kyle Rappaport, who I've been looking forward to working with a while, and he had a big role. I think this is one of his biggest roles, actually.
Awesome.
Angie came back as Bloody Mary. That's a really cool scene. You're going to like it. Jen Elise Feldy, she was like a video girl that I met, and she put in for audition for the original Bloody Nun, and she made it. So she has a bigger role in this. Okay. I play a role in it. Then we have Garland Green, who's like a really good old school actor. He's making a comeback. He was in Carlito's Way. We have Paul Fagone, who's like he's in the new Sopranos show. He's like he looks like a mobster.
Okay, so you have A few names.
Yeah. Lawrence Davis, Kristen Delala is making his debut as the Nun. Jessica Collazo couldn't reprise the role; she had some unfortunate stuff. And then we have Jose Otoro. He's an MMA fighter, local in Long Island, and he plays the priest Father Mateo. And he just blew it out the water. He became the star of the movie. So Blade Runner 2 is wild, man. There's a lot more gore in it, a lot of gags. We have decapitations, like what I'm famous for. We have a penis that's like its own character. You're gonna like it a lot. I'll definitely send you a screener as soon as it's finished. It should be coming out in January. First, we have Faces of the Dead, which I'm really excited about. It's 90% done. We're just waiting for one more filmmaker. It's an anthology zombie film, and the films came out excellent. I'm really excited about it.
Nice.
That should be coming out soon, pretty soon.
Okay. Now, are there any other projects that you're working on?
Yes. Oh my God, we have a lot of stuff going on. So, you know how like the whole Camp Blood thing is like inspiring to everybody. So I'm working on a camp slasher project. The name is in development right now.
Okay.
So I have that. I know Matt Brunzio is going to be in it. Mark's going to be in it. Kyle Rappaport signed on to be in it, and a couple other actors, maybe some debuting ones. So we'll be shooting that early next year, probably May.
Okay.
We got a great location, man. A whole big campground. It's going to be really exciting. You know, it's more inspired by like Halloween, where this guy's escaped from a mental institution. You know.
Okay.
So it's really cool. The script is being developed, and Theater of Horror 2 is being written by somebody right now, but it's tough because David owns the rights to that. I'm not going to mess with David, you know?
Oh,
yeah.
Totally understand. So, going backwards a little bit. Now there have been some other projects that you've worked on in between. In between, is there something called the Slenderman Project?
Thunderman Project? No. What is that? I never heard of that.
Evidently, it's something on your director thing.
Really? Maybe that's a different Will Collazo. Thunderman. Wait a second. Are you messing with me?
No, I'm not messing with you.
I gotta see this. Okay, where is it? Is it like on my as a director or actor?
Do you know Peter Goring?
Oh, the Slenderman Project. Yes. That was a web series that we did, Slenderman, about the character Slenderman. It was like a Blair Witch type of thing and stuff. And we never finished it. We shot one episode, and then he had legal troubles. Unfortunately, he got caught up with the wrong things. All these you could find on my YouTube. Ghost videos on there, which was one of my most that actually went viral. If you look up Center Reach Pizza Hut, there's articles written about me. It's really sad. They made fun of me in the articles, but that's really a ghost video. Definitely Google that. Hostile Tributes on there. And then these other ones are little short YouTube ones that I do. Like it's a top 5 list, like a countdown of Pennywise the Clown. And they do really good. One of them is like it has like 50,000 views. They do really good. So I'm going to keep making those little video edits. They seem to like them. You know? And people don't know this, but you were supposed to be in Faces of the Dead, but it just didn't pan out.
Yeah.
I was busy. You were busy. The schedules didn't match up. We tried, and we'll get another chance though. That would be really neat.
Definitely, man. I know I was trying. You were trying, and
yeah.
But I will definitely check out Faces of the Dead when it comes out. So
your buddy is actually did a movie, and it really. Did you see his film? Chris Efron, I think his name is, because he uses a different name on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I forgot. It's like Herbert Stock he uses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see his film or no? It was.
I have not watched his film as of yet.
He did a really good job. It's really creepy. It's really like kind of like an Edgar Allan Poe type of thing. It was a different spin on the zombie thing.
Well, I know he was. I know he was really getting back into what he was doing at that moment. So, for a while he was doing video reviews and whatnot, and I know he showed me some of his older projects and whatnot. Yeah. And I told him, go ahead, do what you do, man.
Yeah.
So.
I know he's doing like this thing called Night in the Mass. I talk to Kyle. Kyle Rappaport calls me every day. He's like my little buddy. So he's really excited about this project that he's doing, Night in the Mass. He says it's really good, like a shot on video, VHS. They shot it, so that's really interesting. I definitely want to check that out.
Alrighty. So, is there anything else that you want?
David, it's an exciting time. We have all these indie filmmakers. It's at first, you want to go away from it and do bigger projects, but right now, I'm enjoying doing these B movies. I have the freedom to do what I want. I have the capability to self-distribute right now. If a good distributor comes along, I really don't need it right now, I'll definitely do it. That's just, if I can leave you with this, anybody who sees this and wants to be an aspiring filmmaker, think of it like this. Okay, do it for as little money as possible. I mean, not like $5. If you could get $1,000, that's enough to make a film.
Well, yeah, you want to have the film to have at least a little bit of a budget, but you don't want to not put any money into it.
I would say to start as a filmmaker, $1,000 to $3,000 you could do a feature for. All right, and then I would say, and that seems small, but it goes a long way. Focus on one location, filming in one location, and 1 or 2 actors. Plan it out smart. Use a small crew, maybe 2 people, have a good sound microphone, use a good quality camera, learn how to edit. You can learn, there's tutorials out there, and make your film. Just go out and shoot it. Even if it turns out to be a steaming pile of crap, at least you made a film, and they'll get better as you go along. So that's the most important thing. And it's an exciting time. We have David Stirling stepping up his game. I believe I had something to do with that, with this new Camp Blood. It looks awesome. I'm excited about it. I wish David the best, no hard feelings there. Mark Poloni is making a bunch of movies. Kyle got me into him. I got a bunch of cool stuff coming out. It's going to be an exciting year. You have to. Now's the time for the SOV guys like us to make movies,
Definitely, man. I'm looking forward to what you'll be able to contribute to the independent horror film world. So I'm glad that things are still going pretty straightforward for you.
So who's your favorite B movie? I don't know if they call us B movies or Z movies director out there. Is it Mark Poloni?
It's hard for me to pick a specific favorite right now because I'm going through so many at this moment, and there's so many that I have not even seen, and I finally have like a group of people where I can just go on and discuss them with, like at random. So lately I've been hanging out with a kid called Boris, which actually his real name is Filip Hanzik, and he's played. He's a real cool kid from Croatia.
Wow!
And
foreign film, nice.
He is an avid lover of Joe Sherlock films.
Wow.
So
Joe Sherlock, did he direct Meat Hook, or that? No, that's somebody else.
No, that's someone else. That's someone else.
Clown Hotel or something like that.
Joe
Sherlock.
Joe Sherlock did. I think he was a producer behind something with that, or but
the name sounds familiar.
He did Dark Zone 13. He also did Things 5, Stranger Things.
Oh wow!
And he's also working with David Stirling.
How was Things 5, Stranger Things?
I have not watched it. I have not watched it yet, and I produced something of Joe Sherlock's too, called Dark Zone 13, which was an anthology that he was part of, and that the kid from Croatia was in. So we're kind of using his character from that anthology as the person going on and reviewing with films with me.
So are you gonna get into filmmaking, or are you gonna stick to doing the review side of it?
Well, I'm actually a producer.
Okay. So you are, producer. Yeah. So you're producing. Yeah.
Right now, I'm eventually I'll be producing behind David Stirling.
Yeah.
I haven't really had any fallouts with him as of yet. I mean, everyone has different stories about him, and I figure unless he fucks with me, I'm not gonna. I'm producing more for the director behind the film than I am than I am the David Stirling part. So.
The key with David, you got to let him know not to fuck with you. You got to be tough with him. You can't be too nice and respect. I listen to him like an older brother, and I take all the information. He would talk to me for hours and teach me. And I'm very thankful. He taught me about the whole artwork and the producing side of it, and he gave me a lot of great information. But he will try and take advantage of you. So you got to be stern with him, and there's nothing wrong with that. You got to make sure if you're producing.
You got to do that with everyone, though.
Yeah,
I think
that's true too. That's true.
Especially the more popular you become.
Yeah.
So my advice to you as a filmmaker is to be aware of that. So.
Yeah. I definitely am more aware. I know you got to go. This was a really fun interview. But I love your YouTube channel. Content is the key, man. You have plenty of content on there. You know.
Well, I appreciate you being able to come on and talk with me about the stuff that you've done so far. And I mean, you're more than welcome to come on, spit some information that you know about any film that we're talking about or whatnot. I know every Tuesdays we go on and
I have a lot of secrets that I can't talk about. That I know a lot of projects that are coming out. But when Bloody Nun 2 comes out, or Faces That, I would be more than happy to come and talk to you about the process and anything you want to know. If you want to pick my brain on filmmaking, if you want
definitely,
to
man.
Films,
I figure when Bloody Nun 2 comes on, you can come on. Let us know when the date is for when to get a copy of the film or whatnot.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll figure that out down the road, definitely, man.
Beautiful, man. This was a lot of fun, David. I'm glad I came on. I know you have stuff to attend to, man. Very good interview, man. Very good interview.
Awesome. Well, in any case, thank you for listening, folks out there. This is Will Collazo. Check out
Kyle. Kyle Rappaport too.
Kyle is a different guy.
Yes, he's a different breed. He's a
different breed of a fan, and
yes, he's a super fan.
But in any case, definitely check out some of his films. I know you can still buy some of his films from David Stirling. I believe Theater of Horror, a Bloody Nun.
I think he took Theater Horror down because we have beef. But you can watch it on Google Play. It's available on YouTube Movies, and you can watch it for free on iTube or something like that at some website. I can't think of the name of it. And then Bloody Nun, you can watch on my Vimeo. It's available there on demand.
Okay. Well, in any case, appreciate your time.
Later, guys. Happy holidays, David. Happy holidays. Enjoy your Christmas. Buy lots of DVDs to review.
Alrighty. Later.
See you in 2020.
Definitely, man.